Good morning. It's about 7:45. I think that it was 11:20 when we put the sourdough to rest last night. And when I checked on it this morning, it had risen quite a bit, just a couple inches from the top of the bowl. And actually, in just the last hour or hour and a half, it has developed some really fun surface bubbles. So I'm going to flip it around and show you what we have here. All right, and here's a couple of tricks. I always put a little Post-it note of what time I did the last thing, and I just stick it to my recipe card, which I also leave on top of my plastic wrap so that I'm ready to go. I always use plastic wrap instead of a towel. It keeps the dough from drying out. So you can see these really fun surface bubbles. The dough is very soft and sticky, so you can see it kind of coming up with my hand, which is why we stretch it out, because since it's so sticky, it can be a little bit unstable. So I am going to pause this, and then I'll get one of the kids to videotape me giving it a little bit of stretch, but hopefully that'll be pretty familiar. Hey, Georgia. Okay, so you can see, even as we tip it, that it's still really loose, and it wants to grab the bowl and kind of tip out, but it's not gonna like dump out on the counter in a lump. So I use wet hands. I've got wet hands, and took my rings off and kind of just move it away, like if my hands are a rubber spatula. And you can see all those great sourdough strands that you're used to seeing when the bread is baked. You can already see those kind of developing. So I'm pretty tender with this, just to kind of keep that intact as much as I can, but just rub my fingernails down the inside of the bowl and then get that loosened up. It's a little bit more to work with. I mentioned yesterday I have a double batch, and so that does make it a little bit more bulky. But basically, once I get all the edges worked with, we're just gonna pull it out. And so when we looked the other day, we looked at those pieces that you can see them stretching and kind of quitting. And this process kind of keeps them from quitting. So this is really fun. My kids like to watch this. You just want to stretch it but not break it. So like here on the back, we want to make sure that's not happening too much. And then I'm just going to lower it down and kind of